Hello guys, good morning, good afternoon and good evening. Today I would like to start a new course altogether that we are going to learn one ERP HCM tool called JD Edwards. It is one of the famous ERP HCM module in the current market, especially when you focus on UAE localization. There are ample chances if you are good at any of ERP HCM module, you can have a better opportunities. When it comes to JD Edwards HCM, it's like a freeware module where you can able to learn JD Edwards HCM without paying any single rupee to any of the training institutes or organization. I will try to do my best to share my knowledge where I gained by working on Oracle JD Edwards HCM module for past 5+ years. So there is one free website or application you can see here, demo.steltix.com. This is the site, or this is the application link, or this is the tile ID, or this is the URL which you have to log in if you want to learn JD Edwards HCM for free. So the moment you log in, this is how you get user ID password default, and you have to click on sign in. The moment you do, then you will be direct to a page. This is the login page, or once you do the login, this is the landing page where you can come and able to see before you start JD Edwards HCM practice. So before that, we try to give a little bit overview on JD Edwards HCM module. When we talk about human capital management in terms of JD HCM, there are 6 modules which are more famous in the market, which starts with core HR, time and labor, leave management, performance management, payroll management, and health and safety. But is it necessary to learn all these modules? No. If you can able to focus more on core HR, time and labor along with payroll management, these 3 are more than enough for you to get a major understanding about ERP HCM tool. So as this is the starting day, we will try to see core HR first, and then time and labor, and then payroll management as a sequence. What a core HR will deal with across all the HCM tools, the fundamental of any of human capital management system will be the employee information, right? So entire employee information will be captured, organized, configured, processed in a module in JD HCM. It is called as core HR module or employee information module. It will take hardly maybe 10 hours maximum for you to get a tag says that JD Edwards HCM consultant. Just 10 hours, even that is also more, but fine. So first we will start understanding about core HR module. What core HR module consisting of? In any of the organization, what an organization will be consisting of? End of the day, employees, right? Organizations will be having employees, and we have to store the data of employees such that end of the day we have to track their time cards, we have to pay their benefits, deductions, taxes, and process the salary and issue the paychecks on top of it. In order to do all these transactions, what we need fundamentally, we need employee data. And when if you, for example, if you see, this is for people who are too freshers, okay? For example, if you see WhatsApp, right? We have a WhatsApp application in your mobile. So what you're going to use a WhatsApp? WhatsApp can be used to have a friendly chat between two existing living things, right? And you can do a video calling with another living thing. What exactly it is? In order to use a WhatsApp, you need to have a contacts. End of the day, people, right? The same way, in order to process the payroll transactions or whatever it is, we have to have people in our system, people in our company, and that people data we are going to capture in core HR module under multiple applications, which we precisely call as employee information, right? This itself a module. Time and labor, it's a module. Payroll management, it's a module. When it comes to core HR module, a module consisting of multiple applications, which is nothing but multiple data storing pages. What sort of data we are going to store? Each and every relevant applications or each and every relevant data which is related to employee, we are going to store. Is nothing but employee information in core HR module. For example, what sort of a data, if for example if I'm going to work in a Google organization, right? I'm going to work in a Google as a HCM consultant. The moment I go into Google organization after recruiting, what they will do, what sort of a data they will capture, right? They have to capture what is the name of employee, what is the ID of the employee, what is the first name, what is my last name, and what is my gender, what is my date of birth, what is my location, right? And apart of that, what is my position, what is my job, what is my date of joining, what is my date of interview, what is my country of birth, what will be my PAN card number and Aadhaar card number, and many more, right? A lot of details that might be including passport number, who are my dependent details, and what could be my medical insurance data, what will be my marital status, I'm having any kids or not, like each and every element, each and every information, every details which is related to one particular employee, if you are going to store in one place, we call it as one module, complete module of core HR. It's completely used to just store the data of employees. If you can able to understand, okay, the moment I step into the organization, from the day one, what sort of data a company will be needed in order to do any sort of transaction for me from the date of joining till payroll, this entire process will be managed by any of the HCM tool, right? So when it comes to core HR module, it deals only with employee information, right? If we can able to learn this, then at least 40% of JD HCM module or JD HCM tool you can able to relate, and you can able to say that yes, I am having a good understanding on core HCM module of JD HCM tool, right? So while it, just go ahead and we'll start from employee information. But before that, I'll just give you two important points which we are going to deal regularly. Okay, when I said for example, if we take Facebook, right? The moment we I'm giving, the moment we try to log in with Facebook by using user ID and password, right? The moment we enter user ID and password, we are going to enter in a landing page where we are going to see what is our name, our profile picture, our friends, our groups, notification, blah blah blah, right? The front end, the view where we are able to see all the the data, regarding our friends, whatever it is, the data which we are going to see on the screen the moment when we log in, that we will be calling it as application view, right? Application view means in the front end, okay, if you give user ID and password, you are able to see that checkbox in the front end, you mean in the view. But in the back end, how you are going to enter the data will be stored in a table format. Just have a understand what are all the data which we are going to see with our eyes on the laptop screen. Just think that this is the data in the Excel sheet, right? This is all the data related to an application, or the data is getting stored in the front end view. It's an application view, but in the back end it is storing, that might be stored in a different way, maybe with having a pointers, arrays, tabular columns, rows, whatever it is. That is called a table. In front end, what we are going to view the data, it is called application view. The data is getting stored somewhere in the back end, it will be called as a table view, right? Let's start. So the moment I do a login page, this is called an application or view, right? The moment I log in into JD Edwards HCM application, and now this JD Edwards is having finance module, HCM module, tech and supply chain management, warehouse management, like multiple modules are there which we can access through one login itself. But we are not going to bother about any other. We are going to learn only JD Edwards HCM related, right? So in order to access JD Edwards HCM module, what we have to do? Just go here and click on this navigator, right? Navigator. Just click on this, and we have to click on Enterprise One menu, Workforce Management. Why Workforce Management? End of the day, all the people who are going to work in the organization, it's like workers. Let's assume workers. Just in order to remember, Workforce Management. In this, what I'm going to do, I have to go to HRM Foundation, Daily Processing, Employee Management, and Employee Information. This is the first step any of the HR consultant, whenever we go for implementation or whatever it is. End of the day, employee information is the biggest application, the main important application which we use more and more and more in our day-to-day operation, right? If you see here, it says application. The moment I put the cursor, in the bottom you can see application P0801. So I'll just click on employee information. Why we have to go to employee information? Because whenever employee joins in an organization, all the data of that particular employee has to store somewhere, right, in the system. That is nothing but employee information application. So what will happen is, sometimes what I did, I clicked on navigator, I clicked on Enterprise One menu, then Workforce Management, HRM Foundation, Daily Processing, and Employee Management. Why I have to go by taking pain for all these 5 pages, such that end of the day I will land on Employee Management? If you want to have any shortcut, just remember one ID for every, okay, if you want to go to employee information, there is a shortcut. Just you think that shortcut key, what I have to give, I'll go to this navigator. Here you can see fast path, right? I'll just type P0801 and I try to click on enter. What happened? Immediately I logged into the page called employee information. Earlier what I did, I came to this navigator, Enterprise One menu, Workforce Management, HRM Foundation, Daily Processing, Employee Management, and clicked on Employee Information. Instead of that, here you can see P0801 is a number or shortcut key or application number in order to access employee information. If you can remember that, if you use any application for 3-4 times, it's easy for you to understand. What you have to do, very simple, come to this navigator, enter P0801 and then click on enter button on your system. Then the moment you do that, you are going to log in into employee information page. So what next? In this Excel sheet, see, based on the company, some company will store limited data, some companies want to store huge employee data. Because if I take US, if I are going to implement our JD Edwards for any of the US clients, those guys will take hell lot of employee data, because based on my gender, based on my age, on top of it, especially based on my marital status, whether I am a married, a single, divorced, in relationship, my taxes are calculated based on my gender and relationship status or marital status. And from where I am going to get the taxes get calculated? Based on my marital status. Where I am going to store this marital status? I am going to store that marital status in employee information. So either to calculate my taxes, in order to store the time cards, like how many days I stored, even to know the compensation data, even to add any benefits or deduction to particular employee, in order to do what sort of transaction end of the day related to employee, the core, the heart module of JD Edwards HCM is core HR. Core HR will deals with employee information. What is employee information? Starting from name, gender, date of birth, date of hire, position, job, grade, dependent details, marital status, each and every aspect of employee is going to store under employee information application in core HR module, which belongs to JD Edwards HCM tool, right? So we came here, and if you see here, you can have a plus button here. You have to click on it. The moment you click on it, what we are telling to the system is, hey, I am going to add one employee who got hired today. May not be today, that could be past or future, right? I'm going to add the employee data. You just store from here. Once you store the data of employee in employee information screen, after storing the employee data, we are going to send this data to payroll in order to calculate their payroll, in order to process the taxes and everything. So the first thing, the moment we click on employee data or employee information screen, the system will ask, fine boss, you want to add one employee, right? In order to add one employee, as a standard practice, I need to store certain set of data. You have to provide me. This is the things system is going to talk to me now. Now system is asking me, hey dude, enter the employee number. Employee number will be always unique, right? In my employees, if there are 100 employees in my organization, each and every employee will be having his own identity number, his own unique employee number, right? So I will say like 678543, some number, right? And I'll try to place outside and click the cursor like this. Why? By chance, if this number is already allocated to someone, then system will throw a duplicate error. Boss, it says this number is already used by someone else. For example, if I want to show like that, see, the moment I entered 1001, it says AB common, which means this is name and this is employee ID. With this ID, already one employee is existing. Please use another employee number. That's what system is telling me right now. I'll say 654987 and give one tab. See, the name got disappeared, which means this particular employee is available. I mean, this number is available to use or to add this number to some new employee. So what employee tax ID category code I will cover later. I just want to show you, if I want to store employee data in core HR module under employee information, what are all the basic details we are going to store, right? If you can able to understand how to store the employee data in employee information application, which is P0801, I bet 30% of core HCM module, you are already knowledgeable, right? What next? Rest of 30% time and labor, 60%, rest of 40% payroll. That's it. You will be called as a JD Edwards functional consultant having knowledge on JD HCM. Can we prove that? Yes. If you can able to access, if someone asks, hey, how to add the employee data, where you are going to add a job, position, grades, data, you can say, hold on boss, log into JD Edwards, go to employee information screen or go to P0801 application, click on add and enter everything. If you want to fetch, same thing, go to P0801, fetch with the employee number and you can able to see all the data which is relevant to that particular employee. That's it, man. You are good at core HCM module. It's very simple, very easy, right? So now we will see that how to create an employee, right? So I want to create one employee and I want to add one employee number for that particular guy such that it will be easy for me to identify who he is. I gave a number 654987, right? And then system is asking, for example, let's take Reliance. We are going to implement for Reliance. Reliance is having a group of companies, right? Reliance Retail, Reliance, which they're having Reliance Petroleum, Reliance Chemicals, Reliance Fashions, where you can see Reliance Trends and Jio. Like it's like multiple, it is having a sister concerns or multiple group of companies is having. For example, if I want to hire this employee in Reliance, whether this guy belongs to Reliance Jio or Reliance Chemicals, Reliance Petro, Reliance Fashion, where, which means I have to assign this particular belongs to one specific company, right? That's why we have to add end of the day an employee to one particular company. I can say some Reliance Petrol. Just this company data will be defined by finance guys, JD Edwards finance consultants. So we are no need to bother about it. They will provide that, hey, for if you want to hire this employee against Reliance Jio, then just give a number 1 or 2, 3, whatever it is. We just can use that. So I created one employee number. I said that this employee belongs to some financial distribution company, right? Then the next thing is, whenever you see this asterisk mark, think that these are mandatory fields. Don't think that against employee number there is no asterisk, that's why isn't not in mandatory. Yes, it is mandatory, but apart of that, whenever you see any asterisk marks, without filling that, we can't able to save this page, right? Okay, I gave an employee number. I said this employee belongs to some X company, and we have a field called pay frequency, which means how frequently we are going to pay for this particular employee called 654987. What is ideal pay frequency? How frequently we are going to pay means, in India we are going to pay employees on monthly basis. The frequency means how frequently this employee is going to get paid. In India, monthly is a frequency. If you take European countries, the employees will be getting paid weekly, bi-weekly, semi-monthly and monthly. So what will be the pay frequency? Weekly, semi-monthly, bi-weekly or monthly, right? That is the meaning of pay frequency. For example, we are implementing this particular implementation for any US client, but still they are monthly paid. So what we have to do? We have to just click on M. If you don't know what it is, I mean what frequency you have to use here, so what you have to do, this is called visual assist. It says what will be the ideal values you can able to fill in this box. If you want to verify, just click on this visual assist, right? Then it says bi-weekly, monthly, semi-monthly or weekly. I can select, okay, this employee is a monthly employee and select. And the next thing is pay status, right? See, end of the day we are going to pay him monthly, weekly, bi-weekly, that's fine. Whether this particular employee is active or not, that is also going to play play a vital role in order to process the salary of the employees, right? Whenever we are adding an employee into the organization for the first time, obviously he will be an active employee, so the default status will be active. Then we have to instruct to the system says that from on which date this employee is going to hire into the system. I will say some random date. So ideally original hire date started, these values will be the same. There is no any much difference, but any specific edge cases will come, then only we used to use date started, original hire date. Ideally both will be same in most of the cases, right? Then we have a, you don't need this leave begin date and leave end date, because the moment employee goes on leave, then only we fill these dates. Why? When we fill a termination date, when employee resigns and going away from the organization, then we'll fill the termination date. Another field is called as date pay starts. Why we use date pay starts? I mean, when we use more specifically is, for example, in India, if you see, some of the companies says that we will hire you and you will start working with us for 3 months for free. We call it as internship or something else. They will say that for 3 months we are going to provide you training, right? During that training we are not going to pay you any money. After 3 months we will evaluate and then we are going to pay you from 4th month. But in this case he got hired on 1st of January 2000, but till 1st of April he has to get trained in that organization and he has to work for free, right? In that case the hire date will be different and the payment date will be different, right? But for all the permanent employees, ideally the original hire date started and date pay will be same, 90% of cases. As I said, like internship and all, only in that cases the dates might be changed, right? And what is another major thing we have to capture is country code. This particular employee belongs to which country? Why we have to fill the country? Because the taxes, end of the day, the taxes have to be paid on employment, right? See, here we are seeing that country of employment, we are not storing the country of birth, right? If I born in India and if I'm working in US, so I'm going to pay the taxes for US, right? In US, not in India. So what we have to capture? The country of employment in order to capture and calculate the taxes. So I will say, yeah, this employee belongs to US. It says United States, right? Okay. What next? Can employee get created by filling this limited data? No, because this data which we captured is not sufficient. I just give employee number and which company he is going to work and what is pay frequency, pay status on the original hire date and country of employment. Then how about his employee name? And when he belongs to US, we will be filling SSN, social security number, which is like Aadhaar number for us. If this guy is going to work in Canada, we are going to enter SIN. Like based on each country identification number will be there, right? So where I'm going to give that? Where is the first name, last name, which position he belongs to, what is his gender, what is his date of birth? This all the data is also needed, right? So what we have to do? Here, if you see there is a button called, it's a wheel. It says CONT, which means continue. We have to click that. The moment we click that, here it says name of this particular employee and mailing means the address. Physical address, mailing address, two different things will be there. It says additional fields. A part of that, if you want to provide any additional data, you can enter under this additional related address, parent number, blah 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 blah. So in order these are not ideally required in order to understand how to create an employee, because with basic data also we can able to create. Once we create an employee, then we can add this. The name itself says additional, right? So once we create an employee, then we are going to add this additional data. Once after creating employee, then we will see. And we have to provide a name. We know that employee number we created and what is the name of this employee. we says we see one number. What is this? Narendra Rahul Mehta. Let's put some name, right? I gave a name and it says long address number. This guy belongs to US, right? What is the long address number? It is nothing but SSN, Social Security Number. In India, we have Aadhaar number, right? The same way. It will be a 9-digit number, right? And we have another thing called tax ID. I'm sorry, guys. Apologies. Tax ID is nothing but SSN. Long address number is, I gave 654987 employee number, right? Similarly, if we are going to integrate with some third party tool, and in that third party tool we have some different number, we can capture that here. Ideally, just forget that long address number is an extra details. If you want to give some extra number apart of employee number, if you want to give some extra identification number, you can enter that digit here. If not, just leave it, right? And what next? We have given this and click on tick mark, which means next page. Then I gave employee name as Nirav Modi Mehta something. It says system will ask that, hey, you are going to store this guy, right? Narendra Rahul Mehta. Should we call him with full name, or on ID card you want to store this guy with name with very limited? What is the first preferred name? With which name this employee is going to be called? What will be his preferred name? I will say Mehta. This is the preferred name. And when he got born, is it any different name or same name? So these are all the extra details which related to one particular employee, which means like not really useful in most of the cases. But there are some companies which want to store even niche level of data which is related to particular employee. In that case, we can able to fill. See, even a 10th grade student can able to understand by seeing the name. What is the salutation? What is the suffix? What is the name of employee? What is the additional name? What is the birth name? You can think that pet name, right? Is it necessary to fill all these details? If it company says yes, we have to fill it. If not, no need, right? What is the marital status? Married. What is the gender? Male. In this, you can see nationality, language, currency code, spouse date of birth, spouse age. Like why I need to capture my spouse date of birth and all? There are a lot of dependent factors. So that's why system will ask us. Should we fill it? Yes, if we have a lot of time, we'll fill it. But now, no need to fill it. We'll just click on continue. Oh, it says, if you see here, there is no asterisk mark here, but still system is not allowing me to continue further without filling ethnic code. What is ethnic code here, right? Just, okay. You don't know what need to fill in this. Then what you have to do is put the cursor here, then you can see a visual assist button. Ethnic code is he an Asian, American, black, white, blah 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 blah. We says that yeah, he's an Asian. I just put 04 and click here. I'm telling to the system that this particular Narendra Mehta is Asian, and then I'll try to click on continue. Error gone, and yeah, I landed to this page, right? If you see here, date started, employee number, date in current position, current job. This is a default data which I filled in first page. The moment we clicked on the add button, then I gave the page, right? That data automatically came here. So now system is asking you gave the employee information where you have entered only personal information till now. But today I'm going to join in Google Office. Who is my reporting manager, man? Who is my supervisor? Who is my team lead? Right? End of the day, I need to have some reporting purpose, right? So that particular reporting hierarchy or reporting of particular employee, that data we are going to fill under organizational assignment section, right? So if you want to, if you know the supervisor, you can fill it. If not, you can leave it, right? It says home business unit. This I'm going to tell later. because okay, we'll tell here itself, right? As we discussed, home business unit is nothing but let's assume I'm going to join as a HR in this organization. Let's assume HR. But what a HR will do, he can do recruitment, he can process the salary, he can do only leave management transactions, or he can take care of joining formalities and induction only, or he can take care of labor laws, right? By chance, if this particular Narendra Rahul Mehta, who belongs to this financial distribution company, if he belongs to some specific department or a specific business unit which deals about labor laws only, if I want to store some extra information, then I can fill this home business unit, I can enter some sort of data. This home business is going to use to track, to note down what sort of roles and responsibilities I will be doing in this organization by going through the business unit. The name you can see, a business unit. You can assume, for time you can assume recruitment business unit, payroll business unit, compensation business unit, labor laws business unit, right? I belongs to some particular unit because I can't do each and every transaction, right? Some specific. Just assume this is the business unit. Apart of that, who is my mentor, who is my team lead, blah blah blah. That data you are going to store here. Yeah, this is another critical one. I am going to hire in this organization from so and so date. I belongs to some recruitment business unit, right? But what is my position? Am I a junior recruiter, senior recruiter, assistant manager of recruitment? What? So we are going to capture that particular in position field, right? So click on Visual Assist. These positions are already created by some consultants, or we are going to create it. No problem, we are going to create it. If I click on search, fiscal year 20. Okay, so let me say fiscal year means this particular fiscal year home business unit. We'll try to find. I'm going to explain all these concepts, don't worry. Just for time being, just think that this particular belongs to which. Oh, there are no positions available yet. Very bad. Some tetraworld. We'll see if any positions got created here. Come on, man, why? I'm sorry guys, I couldn't find any positions which were created for this particular fiscal year 17, 18. I mean during that particular fiscal year. If I see with 21, whoops, 20, fine. Okay, so ideally if I say HR, right? So what we're gonna do is I tried to pick from existing positions. because we can't directly add, or we shouldn't directly add here position as HR and all. We have to fetch from oh, battery is down, okay, predefined or pre-storage values. That's how we have to fetch it. So I'm trying to see if any positions are already available, yes or no, right? It's okay, the positions are not available, so we'll try to continue. Right, see here it says, boss, this particular HR position is not available. It says this position is not available in F0801. What we do, I'm just going to show you, okay, how to create a position such that it will be easy for you to understand. Okay, in order to store, or in order to create an employee, position is also a mandatory thing, right? Because if I join the organization, what is my position? End of the day, I should be HR manager, recruiter, consultant, software engineer, something, right? That is called a position. So position need to be created mandatory. So I'll try to give for fiscal year 20 position ID. I'll say that HR, I say HR recruiter, this is my position. Effective from date, I'll say this is effective from previous date. You know, it's better to take, boss, from this date it is there. Okay, it says sorry, I gave fiscal year 20, right? Then it should not be before that. Yeah, this particular position is effective from this fiscal year. And the position status, is still, it's in active status. That's how I'm going to give here. Don't worry, just think that I'm going to create a position. I'm going to take another session on this, how to create a position. And is there any job type associated to it? I can say anything called as HR, okay, something called a recruiter, REC or something, nothing, it's okay. So no need to fill this. Position budget, okay, for this recruiters, can we put any budget amount? I will put, yeah, something, some huge amount. And budget FT, it's like how many recruiters you want to hire against this particular position. I will say only one, right? And headcount 1. And I'll try to save this. Oh my god, position master got created. I'll try to find, right? See, this particular HR recruiter we just created, it has taken hardly 30 to 45 seconds for me to create a position, a new position in JD Edwards HCM module, right? How easy it is, right? So it is, in order to create a position, we need to have a basic information. See, there is some sort of extra data also we have to fill it. But if you know the basic understanding how to create a position, that is a stepping stage, right? That is a base. So if any complication data is there, you can fill it because you already know how to create it. So what will be the next step? To add some more extra data, to put some more spice for it. That's it. So I'm just going to cancel this, and here I'm going to come out of the page, and now I'm going to create HR. See, now there is no any error here. And what is this EO job category? It says is he a executive, sales worker, administrative support, whatever it is. That's what system is asking. I'll say some data. Oh, why blanks invalid? Says 001. And can we try to click on continue and see? Oh, it says invalid position ID. Why? We just click on find. Business unit is 1, fiscal year is 20, and click on find. See, HR is available, and I can just select this. Why it is saying is, whenever we create any data in position master, it takes some time in order to refresh. That is the problem why system is showing that HR position is already available in the system, right? But despite I am selecting the correct position which is already available in system, but still why the system is saying that invalid position ID? Because the moment you create, immediately it won't store in the table. Sometimes it takes time. So what we have to do is we have to keep on refresh, and then only we can able to continue for the next step. So now as the video length is going to increase, if we keep on refreshing and sitting idle, I don't want to do this. So what we do is we will try to conclude what we did till now, and tomorrow I'll try to complete creating an employee, right? Fingers crossed. So now till now what we have seen, in order to create one employee in JD Edwards HCM, right? End of the day, core HR is a module in JD Edwards HCM tool. That core HR module deals with employee information only. What is employee information consisting of? Employee name, mobile number, employee ID, position, first name, last name, gender, date of joining, date of termination, from which date he is going to get paid, what is his employee status, active or not. This entire data is going to stored in employee information application, right? This entire data, when you store in employee information, that is nothing but core HCM module. If you can understand this, you are 30% through in understanding about JD Edwards HCM module. It is consisting of 3 major modules. What is that? Core HR, time entry and payroll. Now today 10 to 15% of knowledge you already gained by looking at the system, right? Oh, what is core HCM consisting of? Employee information. What employee information? Till now what you have seen with your eyes on the screen, this is the employee information. So I am because of this hard error we couldn't able to continue further, right? So yeah, thank you guys, thank you so much for watching this video, and I request you to please provide your comments, like should I continue creating recordings further to show you complete employee information, or you guys are not happy. Please let me know that if you're not happy, I will stop creating videos. Okay, thank you.